Psychology's main purpose is to uncover and understand human behavior. Over time, various schools of thought have attempted to explain why people act the way that they do, each offering a different perspective on the complexities of the human mind. Prior to the 1940s, psychological literature had been mainly dominated by psychoanalysis, which sought to explain human actions and especially illness through the drives of the unconscious mind, and behaviorism, which explained that all behavior is learned through conditioning, that is, environmental factors around us that shape our actions. But in the mid-1900s, a psychologist by the name of Abraham Maslow sought to evolve from these gloomy perspectives on psychology and instead emphasize individual potential, personal growth, and self-actualization. And with that came the now famous motivational theory of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you're familiar with Maslow's theory, you might also recognize the now famous pyramid shape. Although Maslow himself never illustrated his theory in the pyramid shape, other scholars and researchers later adopted this visual representation to simplify and communicate his ideas. Importantly, Maslow emphasized that each level of the pyramid must be met before an individual can progress higher, hence the shape. Starting at the bottom, we have the physiological needs, which cover all the elementary needs we as humans need in order to function properly. That includes oxygen to breathe, heat to stay warm, food and water for energy, and even excretion of human fluids, whatever that means. If you, for instance, started to lack food to eat, the hunger would feel so immense that it would overshadow all of the other needs above, and you wouldn't be able to focus on anything else. Whenever the physiological needs are met, you can move on to the safety needs. Here, individuals are motivated to cover needs such as stability, order, and protection from natural disasters and health-related threats. As an example, a place to live is usually perceived to shield against the threat of theft and natural disasters. Unless you live in the US, where the walls of houses are made of cardboard from Walmart. Next comes the need for love, which concerns our need to belong in communities, engage in social relations with others, and to create friendships and romantic relationships, whether that's in small groups such as your immediate family or close friend group, or larger ones such as sport clubs and co-workers in your work team. On the other hand, a lack of belonging and acceptance in a group can lead to loneliness and social anxiety. An important note here is actually that the need for love involves both receiving and giving love. Next up are the esteem needs, which essentially cover different varieties of respect. The first involves respect from others, and includes a need for status, recognition, and attention. Lack of these, or at least the perception of it, can lead to serious mental issues and feelings of inferiority. The other version is the respect for yourself and includes the need for self-respect and self-esteem. Self-respect is of course a wide term, but here is described as self-efficacy, the belief in your own abilities and competence. Thus, it's especially important that people hold a positive view of themselves. Lastly, if all the four previous needs are satisfied, the individual searches for self-actualization. The quote, "What a man can be, he must be," best describes this need, as it involves realizing one's full potential, accomplishing everything that one can, and to become the most that one can be. As humans are incredibly different, self-actualizations can take many forms. Maslow explains that some may dream of becoming an ideal mother. Another may want to become a successful athlete, and in especially creative individuals, it may be expressed as crafting paintings or sculptures. Your grandpa might have asked you why you're not happy despite having food on your plate, a roof over your head, a loving family, and a great internship in a well-respected company in your hometown. The next time he asks, just tell him that according to Maslow, the lack of self-actualization is actually what's keeping you from being truly happy in life. Other scholars have further classified the pyramid into different subsets. One being deficiency needs and growth needs, another being basic needs, psychological needs, and self-fulfillment needs, and even corresponding the different stages to life stages, pairing the elementary needs with the childhood, the love and esteem needs with adolescence, and lastly the self-actualization with midlife. But is Maslow's theory actually applicable to every individual on planet Earth? Naturally not. History has shown many examples of the opposite, like Gandhi setting aside his physiological needs by going on hunger strikes to revolt against the British Empire, or perhaps artists or scientists overruling their elementary needs in pursuit of art and answers in order to fulfill their self-actualization goals. But these are generally exceptions, and you might even recognize a few or all of these needs in yourself. Ultimately, Maslow's hierarchy of needs provides a pretty good framework for understanding human motivation and behavior. While it may not account for every outlier or unconventional path, the theory serves as a useful guide to evaluate how we balance our elementary needs with the higher pursuits of personal growth and self-fulfillment.